What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the nation? Welcome back to Sly Nation, and thank you all once again for checking out what's new in the world of Destiny for this beautiful week of June the 13th. E3 is, pretty much over as far as I'm concerned. Nintendo has its show left, as well as a few other smaller studios, but for the most part, everything I wanted to catch has already happened and is now old news. But speaking of news, if you haven't heard the latest about Destiny 2, then check out my latest news video right here. There are some pretty juicy details about the now confirmed Destiny 2 beta date, the lack of a PC beta for a while, and then the release date for the PC as well. All of this is now set in stone, so definitely check that out. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed your E3 this year. Xbox One X seems to be pretty badass, and Sony's E3 showing this year was absolutely terrible. I mean, I'm not one of those, Xbox super fanboys that I can't appreciate a good show. I've always liked Sony shows, but this year was bad. Bethesda's was borderline worse, and Microsoft and Ubisoft pretty much had the better ones out of all the shows. And Ubisoft didn't even show that much, it was just active. In any case, I know there are quite a few disgruntled gamers out there. I mean, think about it. No Death Stranding, no Destiny 2 extra gameplay. I mean, where was Call of Duty gameplay? Halo, Red Dead Redemption. I mean, there are quite a few other titles that I would have liked to have seen at least some updates on as well. Or at the very least, just a little sleek peep of gameplay just to check out the progress. But nope. All in all, E3 wasn't really all that great this year, guys. And the only reason it was halfway entertaining was due to Microsoft's conference, which is actually kind of odd to say. Either way, new games are always a good thing. And if Anthem delivers on its promise, it could be exactly what we need to fill the MMO/RPG storyline hole that Destiny has left us with. Or unless Destiny 2 delivers a knockout punch in its story capabilities, but we'll see. Anyways, make sure you all stick around because I plan on following Anthem until it goes live for the rest of the year. I am definitely excited to see where that leads us. But enough about the future, y'all. Let's check out the here and now. So once again, hope you all enjoyed E3, and thanks again for coming back to my weekly reset guide. Let's do this, people. It's Tuesday, June 13th, and this is your Destiny Age of Triumph, saddened by E3 weekly reset guide. So, as always, guys, we're starting up here in orbit and checking out all of the weekly playlists and see what's going on over here. So, as per the usual, let's start over here at the Crucible and see what's kicking off. This week's weekly playlist for Crucible: Zone Control, capture the zones and hold the zones to win. Remember that. It's not control. Zone control. Alright, as far as the playlist on the bottom here, we have Clash, then we have Rift, Skirmish, and then Rumble Supremacy. And, of course, here in the middle, we have Elimination, holding things down until Osiris picks things back up on Friday. And of course, when we get some Sparrow racing on, well then Private Matches is here to do just that. Alright guys, next let's take a look at some of that Nightfallage and see if it's anything halfway decent. So first up, we have Epic, heavily shielded, highly aggressive, enemies appear in great numbers. Following that, Specialist, special weapon damage is favored. Juggler, no ammo drops for your equipped weapon. Grounded, players take more damage while airborne, and then Chaff, player radar is disabled. Really not all that great of a setup this week, guys. I mean, there's only, I think, actually looks like we're missing a modifier. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't look like this Nightfall is going to be really that much different than a Heroic Strike. So let's jump in, see who we're taking down this week.
The Black Garden may not stay among us for long. Something has begun to repair the schism torn by its destruction. Vex now flood the garden channels to protect it. We must stop the Weavers before they seal the garden and begin to summon back its heart.
In hindsight, maybe it's better off there wasn't so many modifiers on this one. This one can get pretty ridiculous when you get up here in the middle with all those yellow bar Vex running around. But, well, for another time maybe. Alright guys, well, back up to orbit and let's see what is next. Alright, so next up, let's take a look at that Heroic Strike playlist and its modifiers as well. So, like everything else, the first one is Heroic. Enemies appear in greater numbers and are more aggressive. Following that, Arc Burn, arc damage from any source is greatly increased. Then we have Brawler, Guardian melee damage is greatly increased. And then finally, Ironclad, more enemies have shields. Now this week, the Crisis Heroic Strike has 4 modifiers, which is an extra one than usual, and the Nightfall is missing one. So it's kind of like they just traded one. So yeah, this one here seems more of a Nightfall than the actual Nightfall itself. So Ironclad with Arcburn and Brawler. Hey, I think it'll be fun. A good way to get past everything. Alright, well next, we're taking a look at the daily playlist and see what kind of story stuff we can take a peep at. Also, this is where you get your beautiful treasure box. This week, it is Mars and Venus. As always, heroic, we know what that is. Then we have small arms, primary weapon damage is favored, and exposure. Guardian shields are increased, but do not replenish. Also, another fun one. Okay, so next up, let's take a look at the raid this week, see what kind of featured raid. And I believe we are back to the beginning. I am mistaken. We are at Wrath of the Machine. As always, we have the 2 challenges here. First one is Vosic, and the last one is Axis. So this one is for sure the last one before we start back at Crota, which will be next week. So if you guys still need to get your shirt and that Age of Triumph book done, next week is where you have to get that witch kill in under 2 minutes for the challenge. So if you haven't done that yet, I definitely start planning it now, because there's really not that much time left to get this done, especially since it takes an entire month before that challenge to come back again. So I would get that done here fairly soon. Alright, well that takes care of everything up here. Next, you know where we're going to see my girl Petra over at the Reef. So let's jump on in and check what's going on over there. Alrighty, welcome to the Reef, peeps. Next, let's go take a look at Petra. We'll see all of her bounties, and then we'll head over to Varix and see what's up on his side. So, Madame Petra looking beautiful as ever. Alright, so first up, Queen Wrath bounties. Take the Wanted, Sturrock, Banner of Oryx in the Cosmodrome, Fire Team. Sturrock's not that hard, you got that. Following that, we have Take Them Out Cosmodrome, which is kill taken lieutenants in the Cosmodrome. You need to kill 12 of those bad boys. Following that, Take Them All, kill 100 taken. For the halfway new bounties here at the end, we have Queen's Grace, generate 15 Orbs of Light in any strike playlist. Queen's Harvest, gather 15 Dark Nuclei from Majors or Ultras in any strike playlist. And then finally here at the end, we have Queen's Mercy, get 30 Arc kills on the Dreadnought. Alright, thank you, Madame Petra. Next, let's go check out Varix. Oh, if I can actually get over that box. Check out Varix and see what he's doing. And as always, box of goodies. Nom noms, I will take those all day. What I got? Anything? No, I'll take a heavy. Alright, so first up, let's take a look at some bounties, and then we'll check out the Challenge of Elders entry. So first up, we have Impressive Performance, earn points in the Challenge of Elders. Following that, Deadshot, kill enemies with precision shots in level 41 PoE or the challenge. And the final one here is Shadow Boxer, use void abilities to kill enemies in level 41 PoE or the challenge. For the super secret modifier this week, we have ourselves Precision Kill bonus. Precision kills are worth more points. And the other modifiers this week are Berserk and Catapult within the Challenge of Elders. Alright, well that wraps up the Reef, guys. Next, let's head over to the Iron Temple, see what's going on over there, and we'll check out Shiro and Granny on the hill. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Iron Temple. So first up, let's check out Shiro, see what he's got. We'll take a look at his bounties and then the class items after that. So, Shiro, what you got for me? First up, Iron Lord bounties. We have Crushing Blows. Use the Iron Battle Axe or powerful enemy weapons to decimate hostile threats. Following that, Together We Rise, complete public events in the Plaguelands, and then assumingly we have 2 Forge bounties. Yes, we do. First one is Forge Captains, of course 4 Forge victories. 4 Forge victories, and then again, Vandals, 4 Forge victories. 4 Forge, 4 Forge. Alright, next up, class items. We have Mantle of Galeon for the Hunter, 35-32 Intellect Discipline. Following that, Silimar's Iron Sash at 33-34 Discipline Strength, and for the Warlock, we have Scory's Iron Bond, a low 31-31 Intellect Discipline. Alright, Shiro, thank you, my man. Next, we're going to take a look at Granny G on the hill and see what kind of artifacts she has for us this week. Hopefully, there'll be one that will give me my complete collection of max rolls, but that's never going to happen. Alright, let's take a look. And of course, stuff to do. I'm full. Alright, so first up, we have Memory of Temur, 8180 Intellect Strength. Melee attacks on Means of Darkness have the chance to temporarily turn the target against its allies. By the way, never equip that when you're doing the Death Singers challenge at Crota. It's just a bad idea. All right, following that, we have Memory of Radagast, 7780 Discipline Strength, and then finally Memory of Galeon coming in at 110 Strength. Okay, guys, well, that wraps us up here at the Iron Temple. Next, let's take a look at the tower and all of the glory goodness we have to check out over there. Alright guys, welcome to the tower, and of course we're checking out all of the vendors here first, so let's go ahead and start over to Tower North and see what New Monarchy's up to. Then we'll head over down to the hangar, and then of course the Hall of the Vanguards. Alright, so New Monarchy. For reputation, he is accepting Relic Iron this week, so if you have anything to trade in, and you want to get some of that New Monarchy rep in, this is the place to do it. For weapons, let's take a look at what he has. First up, the Assembly 2. Coming in with Red Dot ORA, Quick Draw Is, and OEG, followed by Armor Piercing Rounds, Quick Draw, Perfect Balance, Crowd Control, and then Counterbalance. Wow, that might not be too bad, guys. Like I just told you, bullet hoses are surprisingly effective. And guess what? Not sure if it would be quite as good as something like Perfect Balance and Hand-Laid Stock versus Counterbalance, but still, not too bad. Moving on here, we have the Free Will 3. For sights, True Sight, Sure Shot, Quick Draw, followed by Armor Piercing Rounds, Quick Draw, Small Bore, Hot Swap, and Luck in the Chamber. All in all, not too bad. This is the faster firing, lesser impact hand cannon, which still is pretty deadly, but it's no palindrome, that is for sure. But Luck in the Chamber is always a great hand cannon perk. Alright, so next up, let's take a look at the Impeacher 5. And for sights, True Sight, Fast Draw, Quick Draw, followed by Armor Piercing Rounds. Once again, Snapshot, which is great, Hand Loaded, Zen Moment, and Hot Swap. It's not terrible, but not great. Alright, next up, what's on the list? It is the Shoddy McShodderton Bad Counsel 4. For barrel upgrades, we have Smart Drift Control, CQB Ballistics, and Soft Ballistics. Following that, Flared Magwell, Snapshot, Small Bore, Knee Pads, and Rangefinder. Actually, this might not be too bad, guys. I just wish we had a better barrel upgrade, but with Rangefinder, and Small Bore, this might not be too bad at all, guys. You could probably get the Soft Ballistics up there, Small Bore, a little more range with Rangefinder, and yeah, I think this might not be a bad shotgun at all to use. You'd be surprised just because it's not the the highest rate of or the highest impact shotgun out there. These things are still pretty effective, so not a bad shotgun roll at all. Snow Fail Winters Lie, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so next up we have the Deposition 7, which is not a bad sniper rifle at all. In terms of sights, we have Sight Sys, Long View, and then Tac Sys. That's all right. Explosive rounds, lightweight, hammer forged, triple tap, and take a knee. That thing is doo-doo. I would stay away. And what is next? Of course, the First Citizen 9. Accurized ballistics, smart drift control, and field choke, followed by high caliber rounds, lightweight, perfect balance, feeding frenzy, and persistence. Not too bad, actually, especially for the high rate of fire kind. You'd need something like persistence. Alright, well that is everything here at New Monarchy. Nothing really all that great. The shotgun's good, and the assembly isn't too bad. The hand cannon's so-so, but everything else is pretty much duty. So let's zip on over to the other side of the tower, see what Dead Orbit, the Vanguard, and Future Warcold has for us, and hopefully maybe we'll find something beautiful over there. Okay, so welcome to the tower hangar, my familia. Let's take a look over here at Mr. Jalal and see what he's got for reputation turn-ins. Come on, pop up. There you are. So we have Relic Iron once again. So just like New Monarchy, if you want to get some Dead Orbit love, this is the place to do it. Weapons, Extremophile. Let's see what we got here. For sights, we have Reflex, Sure Shot, and OEG Rifle Scope. Extended Mag, which is awesome. Hipfire, Hammer Forge, great. Hot Swap, and Glass Half Full. Guys, this is a pretty good shot. It doesn't have any extra stability, which is kind of a shame, but with Hammer Forged on there and Glass Half Full with an extended mag, that's a pretty good roll. Just wishing you could switch this out for maybe something like Hand Laid Stock or Perfect Balance. That would have been ideal, but all in all, not too bad. And the Extremophile is a very good Crucible weapon right now. Personally, not quite as good as the Bullet Hose archetype. If you find a good Bullet Hose with stability, take it out there, guys. You'll see what I mean. It wrecks. And I don't know why people aren't using them more often. Alright, next up, Keystone 01. For sights, we have Red Dot ORA, Range Lens RLR, was it 5? Yeah. And OEG. After that, we have Extended Magazine, Quick Draw, Perfect Balance, Third Eye, and then Hidden Hand. Believe it or not, guys, for this archetype, this is actually a pretty decent roll. You know, stability isn't great, but you shoot so slowly with the Keystone, and these, you know, the way it fires is pretty much just kind of straight up and down, and by the time, you know, the cooldown's ready to fire the next bullet, you're already sunk back to where you were before. So stability really isn't that big of an issue with this kind of archetype. So it's not that big of a deal that you don't have any stability problems in here. This is a great sniper counter in Crucible, by the way. If you have a sniper and he's just constantly pegging you with Icebreaker, this is the best thing to use. Strafe and get him with something like this. Especially with long range, you'd be surprised how effective it is. And it can two-shot at a very long distance. But yeah, with extended mag on there, 14 rounds is, you know, terrible. I hate having a low magazine. Add that with Third Eye, great for the Crucible, and Hidden Hand. This is not a bad roll. Stability is a little scary, but I wouldn't let that shy you away from it, guys. Once you shoot it, you'll see what I mean about how it, you know, it takes its time and it always resets to pretty much the same place when you started shooting. So, all in all, the Keystone, not a bad roll indeed. Alright, next up, Worlds to Come 001. Let's take a look at the sights here. We have MD Reflex, Red Dot ORA 2, and OEG. Following that, Accelerated Coils, Hip Fire, Perfect Balance, Unflinching, and Hidden Hand. That's not too bad also. Accelerated Coils is the dangerous way to go. It gives you faster charge rate, sure, but at the cost of impact, and sometimes that can cost you a one-shot kill. Alright, next up, let's take a look at the Last Ditch, which was my go-to. Alright, so first up, Smart Drift Control, CQB Ballistics, and Soft Ballistics. Soft Ballistics being the one that gives you the most range. After that, we have Extended Mag, which brings you up to 6, which is great. Lightweight, Perfect Balance, Surrounded, and Full Auto. Again, not a bad roll, guys. Not a bad roll at all, especially with 6 bullets and Full Auto. This actually looks like a pretty fun shotgun. Of course, it doesn't have rangefinder, which is what everybody wants, but with the range it has already and the full auto capability, I don't know. I think it might do some work, especially if you have enough to proc surround it. Alright guys, next up, let's take a look at the Bitter Edge 010. For sights, we have Wildhawk SLS 20, Long View, and then Eagle Eye. So-so. Explosive rounds, lightweight, hammer forged, life support, Firefly. No thank you. Alright, what's up next? Rocket Launcher Unto Dust 00 for launch capabilities, Warhead Veneers, Smart Drift Control, and Hard Launch. After that, we have Flared Magwell, Lightweight, Heavy Payload, what's this? Battle Runner, and then Grenades and Horseshoes. Not bad at all, guys. I wish the velocity was a little bit better, but this is definitely a good Crucible rocket launcher. Unto Dust this week, I would definitely give it a thumbs up if you need one. Okay guys, that is it for Dead Orbit. Let's take a look at the Vanguard and see what kind of goodness he's got this week. And let's see what that Continental is all about. Alright, so shall we take a look? Oh, already looks pretty bad. So for sights, Reflex, Steady Hand is, OEG, followed by Focused Fire, Danger Close, Small Bore, Appended Magazine, which is good, and Hidden Hand. Not too bad, but it could definitely be better. Okay, next up, Parthian Shot, which one guy was wrecking me all through Iron Banner with Parthian Shot. I don't know how he kept, no matter where I was, running, you know, sliding, flying in the air, stuck on a wall, dead. He could two-shot me just about anywhere on the map. It was getting pretty annoying. Alright, Reflex. Sure Shot is OEG Rifle Scope, followed by Outlaw, Life Support, Small Bore, Feather Mag, and then Counterbalance. That's actually not too bad of a roll, guys. Alright, moving this beast along here, we come to the Angel's Advocate, which helped me get through the Wrath of the Machine many times in the very beginning. We have Red Dot ORA, Rangelands RLL5, and Reflex. After that, Zen Moment, Who's Next, Perfect Balance, shut up phone, Hammer Forged, and then Hidden Hand. Also, not too bad of a roll. Nothing godlike, but halfway decent. What's next after this? We come to the hand cannon, the How Dare You. Pretty much the same archetype as the new Monarchy's hand cannon. Faster rate of fire, medium impact. For sights, we have Steady Hand is, Sure Shot is, and Quick Draw. After that, Mulligan, Spray and Play, which is great for hand cannons. Hammer Forged, also good. Lightweight, and Luck in the Chamber. This is a pretty damn good roll, guys. Especially with Mulligan. Mulligan or Spray and Play. That's a hard choice. If this was something on like the Palindrome, you would be absolutely set. Like, they'd be ready to go. But it's on How Dare You. So that's kind of a shame. Alright, next up, let's take a look at the X Asterisk. One that I've been given many times by my friend RNG. Alright, MD Reflex, Red Dot ORA, and OEG. Unflinching, Last Resort, Perfect Balance, Enhanced Battery, which is good, and Rangefinder, which is also good, but not with that impacted charge rate. You're just asking to get yourself killed, unless it's like, you know, PvE. Alright, next up, let's take a look at the Teacup Tempest. Also a pretty decent sidearm. We have Steady Hand is, Sure Shot, and Quick Draw. Not bad. Zen Moment, Army of One, Fitted Stock, High Caliber Rounds, which is great, and Reactive Reload. Also not too shabby. Alright, moving this beast along here, let's take a look at Occam's Razor. For barrel upgrades, we have Linear Compensator, Accurized Ballistics, and Soft Ballistics. Following that, Performance Bonus, Life Support, Reinforced Barrel, which isn't too bad. Perfect Balance, No Thank You, and Final Round. Not too bad, but then again, that archetype is just, it's PvE only as far as I'm concerned. So I really wouldn't waste my time with it unless you absolutely need a shotgun, but no one really needs one this late in the game. Alright, next up, the 7th Sense. Let's take a look at it. For sights, Sight Sis, View Tack, and Ambush, which isn't too bad. Underdog, Mulligan, Quick Draw, Small Bore, and then Take a Knee. Absolutely no thank you. And what is this one? The Bone Crusher. Alright, CQB Ballistics, Linear Compensator, Field Choke, followed by Eye of the Storm, Spray and Play, which is great for a Henny Heavy, Hand Laid Stock, nice, Rifled Barrel, and then Counterbalance. Guys, this could be pretty beastly. Spray and Play with Hand Laid Stock and Counterbalance. That would be one great PvP heavy. I mean, this thing is, you know, it's pretty powerful the way it is, but with that extra added stability of Counterbalance and Hand Laid Stock, and then reloading faster, that's money. You really can't beat that at all, so pretty good weapon on both sides of the spectrum. Alright, and last up for the Vanguard, Disassembly Required. It comes with Confined Launch, Smart Drift Control, and Counter Mass, followed by Battle Runner, Danger Close, Quick Draw, Heavy Payload, and then Grenades and Horseshoes. Yet again, another pretty decent rocket launcher. I mean, anything with Grenades and Horseshoes is going to be good. But Battle Runner is not bad on a heavy, especially when you need to get out the way from all the other rockets. So, all in all, not bad at all. Alright guys, so there's some pretty decent weapons. Nothing that screams out that you need to buy it, but choices are always good. Alright guys, on our last stop for the vendors, of course, Future War Cult. And then after this, we'll check out the Hall of the Vanguards and the Crucible guy down there. So, first up for Reputation, geez, Relic Iron again. Alright, whatever. So, let's take a look at the goodness. First up, the Whale, which is a pretty decent hand cannon if you get the right roll. We have Steady Hand, Sure Shot, Quick Draw, Explosive Rounds, Lightweight, Small Bore, Hot Swap, Reactive Reload. Not bad, nothing great. What's next? We have the Waltz, which is one of my go-tos. It's kind of a fun weapon. Red Dot ORA 2, Steady Hand is, and OEG Rifle Scope. After that, we have High Caliber Rounds, Lightweight, Small Bore, Outlaw, and then Counterbalance. It's not bad. I wouldn't, it's not worth buying it, that's for sure, but the Waltz is definitely a fun weapon to use. Alright, next up, the Waiting. This is the kind where you can get a one-hit kill all day if you have the patience to use a fusion. Alright, for sights, we have Reflex, Red Dot ORA, and OEG. After that, Accelerated Coils, Quick Draw, Small Bore, Unflinching, and then Eye of the Storm. Not bad. After that, let's take a look at the Wounded. For its sights, we have Red Dot ORA 2, Rangelands RLS 3, and then OEG. After that, extended mag, which is always great, quick draw, small bore, triple tap, and then hidden hand. Once again, not a bad scout rifle roll, guys. Some of these scout rifle rolls are pretty good this week. Alright, keeping this puppy alive, let's take a look at the sidearm, the Wormwood, which is what everybody wants to find a good roll of. And we have steady hand is, with fast draw is, and quick draw. After that, armor piercing rounds, quick draw, hand loaded, relentless tracker, and hidden hand. Not bad at all, especially with hand loaded. It's almost there, but not quite. Alright, and finally, let's take a look at the Warpath, which is one of my favorite rocket launchers of this DLC. We have Warhead Verniers, Linear Compensator, and Hard Launch. After that is Field Scout, Snapshot, Perfect Balance, Tripod, Awesome, and Tracking. Tracking, it has its place. I prefer, of course, Grenades and Horseshoes. Tripod, Grenades, and Horseshoes is like, the ultimate roll, but Tracking still is not bad at all. All in all, it's a decent weapon. Okay, well, that wraps us up here in the hangar and all of the vendors over here. So next up, let's go check out Zavala, all of his bounties, and then we'll take a look at Shaxx, his bounties, and we'll finish off with the Horny Robot, and we will call it a day. Alright guys, welcome to the Hall of the Vanguards. Let's take a look at Zavala here and see what he's got in terms of elite bounties for us. Alright, first up, Strike Elite. Earn gold, silver, or bronze tier achieved medals. Of course, you need 9 of those. After that is Sunrise. Earn a gold tier achieved medal in the Nightfall before time expires. And then we have Simply Perfect. Complete a Sea of a Crisis strike without any member of your fire team dying to earn flawless medals. Now, believe it or not, you can be in a in a weekly heroic strike with other people, and as long as you don't die because that's your fire team, it still counts. Even if the other people on your team die, as long as you don't, or if you have somebody, flying with you, like one friend, and then you have one stranger, as long as you and your friend don't die, the stranger can, and it will still count. It will still work for you. So it's kind of funny how that works, but as long as you don't die or anyone actually flying in your orbit or your game, then you're okay. But if you randomly matchmake with somebody and they die, that's fine. It doesn't count against you. Alright, well, let's take a look at Shaxx and see what kind of weekly bounties he has for the Crucible. I'm guessing Zone Control and Skirmish. Let's see. Back to basics. Exercise your skills in the Clash match type. 7 matches complete, 50 primary kills, 25 assists, and 25 ability kills. After that, a game of Rift. What a waste. Exercise your skills in the Rift match type. 7 matches complete, 50 primary kills, 25 assisted kills, and 1 runner stopped. Alright guys, and our last thing to take a look at this week, it is Arcite 9940. Let's see if he's got the God Roll palindrome that everyone is looking for. Alright, first up, 0 Day Dilemma. Let's take a look at the sites here. We have Red Dot ORA, Quick Draw is, and then OEG. After that, Crowd Control, not bad. Grenadier, Perfect Balance. Appended Magazine, not bad. And then Persistence. This is a pretty good roll, guys. All in all, except for Grenadier, these are all great perks to be using. If you like the kind of, Suros archetype, slower rate of fire but heavier impact, this right here would do it for you, man. This is not a bad roll at all. Alright, moving this show along, let's take a look at the B29 Party Favor. For sights, we have Reflex, Sure Shot, and then OEG Rifle Scope. After that, Rodeo reduces the severity of this weapon's recoil, which is great. Life Support, Perfect Balance, also good. Rifled Barrel, and then Glass Half Full. Right across the top, guys. Rodeo, Perfect Balance, Glass Half Full. This is a very good roll. I've always had a soft spot for Glass Half Full. I know it doesn't really matter that much, but I always like to think that if you're shooting somebody with, like, that has a little bit of damage already, just that little sliver, that little bit of extra, damage is the reason why, you killed them in 1 shot instead of 2. So I always like to think that it helps sometime, but it probably doesn't. In any case, this is a good roll, and I would definitely recommend it if you like this kind of archetype of pulse rifles, kind of like the Grasp of Malik. Alright, next up, let's take a look at the Scout Rifle, the Hero Formula, also not a bad weapon. MD Reflex, Range Lens RLS3, and then we have Reflex once again. After that, Eye of the Storm, Last Resort, Hand Late Stock, always good, Explosive Rounds, and Reactive Reload. Not too bad. Here it is, guys. The King Daddy. The King Daddy, the palindrome, man. I can already tell it's not going to be amazing. Let's take a look. True Sight, Sure Shot, Quick Draw, So Close, Relentless Tracker, Partial Refund, Reinforced Barrel. Look at that range. High caliber rounds, but yet Third Eye. So, while it's not bottom of the barrel doo-doo, I'd give it doo-doo C+. How about that? Alright guys, well, let's keep this going. Next up, the Fusion Rifle each new day. We have MD Reflex, Red Dot ORA, and OEG. Followed with Battle Runner, Replenish, Hand-Laid Stock, Accelerated Coils, and Hot Swap. After that, taking a look at the shotgun, the 44 Curtain Call, Smooth Ballistics, CQB Ballistics, Soft Ballistics, nothing with any kind of decent extra range, but then again, it already has decent range compared to the others that you can buy. After that, Cascade, Life Support, Rifled Barrel, there goes your range, Quick Draw, and Crowd Control. Not bad. If you can get Crowd Control back here and then get some Rangefinder, you'd be in business, but unfortunately, it does not work that way. Alright, next up, Anton's Rule. For sights, we have Steady Hand is, Fast Draw is, and Quick Draw. After that, Outlaw, Cascade, Fitted Stock, Lightweight, and then Reactive Reload. Not bad. Moving along here to the Event Horizon, which is a pretty decent sniper rifle if you can get that stability to work in your favor. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen that often. Wild Hawk SLS-20, ViewTac, Eagle Eye. After that is Army of One, Perfectionist, Armor-Piercing Rounds with Casket Mag, and then Firefly, no thank you. And to the end here, we got the heavies. First up, Chaotic Neutral, CQB Ballistics, Linear Compensator, Soft Ballistics, Life Support, Guerrilla Fighter, Braced Frame, Armor-Piercing Rounds, and then Persistence. And finally, we have something wicked here, which is our last weapon this week. Warhead Verniers, Smart Drift Control, and Hard Launch. After that, Grenadier, Danger Close, Perfect Balance, Heavy Payload, which is always good, and Tracking once again. If you had to grab one, I'd probably go for the Future Workolt before I take this one. That's just, my opinion. But all in all, not bad, but not what you're looking for. Alright guys, well that wraps us up for this week. Once again, thank you all so much for watching and for putting up with these super long weekly resets. Hopefully Destiny 2 will bring in some fresh new things to look at, and we'll have to actually find a new formula to take a look at everything, and I'm absolutely ready to do that. Ready to move on, guys. Ready for something new. So once again, thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget to check out all of the news that came out of E3. At the end of this video, you'll find a link. You can check that out or any other video I made. Definitely worth a watch. And as always, you guys are amazing, and thank you for being a part of the nation. Don't forget, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or even Facebook, Sly Nation or Sly Nation Gaming. It's the best place to stay up to date about everything Destiny, Destiny 2, and of course, upcoming Anthem. Keep your eyes out for more videos coming out of Sly Nation here very soon. But until then, this is your boy Sly, and I will see you all next time.